So, do you guys want to discuss this, or no?
We have, Gavin and I have been discussing this a little bit. We're just curious whether the board feels that the subcommittee, two members of the subcommittee, Gavin and Tom, are going to meet with Linda Shire, Wendy Garland, Sally Sewell, and Jeff Dennis, who's the author of this phosphorus control and watershed technical board.
Good.
Next Tuesday, meeting out in York County Soil and Water. The consensus seems to be from Linda, Wendy, and Sally Sewell, who's Wendy's corollary over in New Hampshire. She works with the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Protection, and this is her area of jurisdiction. They seem to think that we don't need this whole phosphorus calculation. We can do it with runoff calculation. And so we would suggest that before, we ought to get clear on what the board is going to be doing with this versus what the subcommittee is doing. We don't want to be going on two tracks. I don't know what you want to do, but I would suggest that you let the subcommittee
Get more
do its
information.
works and
Come back to
yeah,
us.
because this time spent on this may not be warranted.
Gotcha, sounds good to me. Anyone have,
Just to caveat, what we read initially from the correspondence with them is that the phosphorus calculations from Jeff Dennis's perspective, the author of those were basically devised for subdivisions and large commercial projects. And there was text in our emails that said, and I'll copy these out for you, that said when they're applied to single lot developments in the watershed, they don't work out to it. There's just something about the formulas that need a large land base
Gotcha.
to be worked with. So,
How we doing?
that's all we've learned.
all right. All right, good, we'll wait for you guys to get more information on that.
And so we have that meeting on Tuesday morning, and then we have a meeting on Tuesday evening with Paul. So by the next meeting, we'll have a good little paragraph to play.
Terrific.
As to what we're moving forward.
Are there calculations that you would need to be done eventually if you were going to do that cover, that runoff?
I would think so, but it would go back to the, this booklet here. We studied this in some depth a week or two ago, and we were looking at that, what is it, basic versus alternate?
Yeah, in the back, the application form.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
We're thinking more of leaning toward this, because this was actually what Paul was looking at when he derived a lot of his questions, because we had cited this work as the document that we were working with. So it may make for an easier meeting of minds, so to speak, if we stayed a little closer to this and looked over as far as work as necessary. So that's what we're up to.
All right,
We're trying to get up to speed more than we were previously with that DEP. So
terrific.
that's where we're at.
All right, good.
Were you poking at this thing over the last couple of weeks at all, or?
No, I mean, a little, nothing of any consequence though. Nothing of any consequence. I mean, I was waiting essentially to see if we got the explanation from DEP to know for sure which numbers were to plug into here.
Okay, yeah,
And,
yeah.
You'll hope to have that when we meet with you guys.
I mean, it was also a personal thing, you know, in this case,
Well,
I don't know
it was
if I
helpful.
impact it, at all, the phosphorus level, but apparently, if those people are correct, having such a small issue, dealing with a big lake is not gonna make a whole big a difference.
There may be another way to do it, or
Yeah,
scaling down the formula maybe that'll work for,
It wasn't that they were downplaying the whole notion of the phosphorus allocation, but as devised anyway, what they indicated to us was that it was more workable on larger as subdivisions. I mean, they cited subdivisions and large commercial developments. So,
When I glanced at some of the paperwork that Brenda had given us, it seemed like the examples that they wanted you to practice on were subdivisions. So, maybe that's true.
well, we feel lucky that they're willing to sit down and take some time with us, and so we'll do what we can next week.
Sounds good. Other business? Kenny? Oh, sweet, how many years? Best possible locations, eh? .34th, that's,
Lower Mousel?
yeah. Geez, another pump house? Oh, and storage?
It does have a pump house. That's what they all have, it seems like.
What does this say?
That's the part that's gonna basically come off and they're gonna square that up.
Oh,
34th Street is what you guys said?
Yeah.
6/24.
It's down there off of Ted, I think.
Currently, the configuration is 18 feet from the water, the new would be 24.
I'm sorry, they're,
Currently, it's 18 feet from the water, the new would be 24 feet.
And we're talking about replacing a well house.
It's a shed too.
yeah,
Shed and storage. Originally, they were gonna replace the L-type configuration as is, and talking to them for a while, if they squared it up, they'd be able to gain another 6 feet away from the water.
so it's this right now, they're gonna make that 10-foot by 11. And they'll be getting further away because they're taking out this
The L.
bottom part of the L. How tall is this little rascal? Just about
12 feet or so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's got fair storage up top.
A little bit, I'd say it's, 8 feet with a floor joist underneath and a small roof pitch above.
Do we have a picture from the lake? What is it? Like that.
This is what's coming off?
No, well, the whole thing will be ripped down.
Right, but
Basically, that's what will be gained
Yes.
away from the water.
So this
Yes.
would be water here, I'm assuming.
yes,
Right?
yeah, that's my guess. And so it looks like this now, which is what we're seeing there and there.
Okay.
And then this is gonna get cut off roughly, and then they're just gonna square that. And this behind it. Or add.
Just square it up, basically.
Oh, just add this little section.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, so this is like just get moved up here.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
They were trying to rebuild it the same, and after talking to them, we squared it up and gained another 6 feet away from the water.
What's it on now? What's it gonna be on it? Piers?
Here's
blocks?
blocks, yeah.
Piers sunk into 4-foot, Bigfoot BS or
Doesn't
just?
need to be. It's
Oh,
less than
okay.
600 square feet, so.
Kenny, what do you do with oil and gas storage issues close to the lake?
That's why it's got dirt floor.
Well, it says in this drawing right here, part of it has a cement floor.
But it's raining.
Existing cement floor, it says.
It's a drain. You just hope the people contain it,
Keep it on
keep it properly, which it's kind of, they're on Mousom, so at least they have a marina and they can get gas, but quite often you see the people without a marina on the lake, and they're all at the gas station with 5-gallon jugs in the back of their car.
And they're filling their
And
boat,
they're
sitting
filling
in
their
the
boat,
water.
splashing all, so, I mean, a marina is much environmentally safer as far as that.
It's gonna have a poured floor?
There's one on the other one, I thought wood is what they would
Oh.
putting back in.
But if somebody, if one of them does a poured floor, could they have just a little bit of a lip maybe on the inside to help contain, or do you not wanna worry about it?
Most of it's keeping the water from the outside, so you'd have the row of blocks inside or something like that.
Yeah, all right.
If this was a wood floor, they would put back in, because
That
you
would do
can't
it.
get down there.
Yeah, gotcha, all right, but
When you're talking about gas and oil, you're just talking about then, jugs?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
not talking about any large amounts?
No, no, and again, they're
They've
on
got
the
oil
lake
tanks.
marina, so.
you know, buy them when it's cheap, use it last summer.
Well, my suggestion was gonna be that they do build the wells, kind of things that you can take and put your tank, if that's what you had, in it. So it contains at least a small leakage.
Yeah.
A big blast is not gonna hold it all, but it will.
Commercially, quite often, you'll see them using half a septic tank, put the
Mhm.
the fuel tanks in that, and then a roof on top of that, that'll hold 500-600 gallons.
So, and their well is inside this enclosure, is that correct?
Correct.
It's a point into the water, or it goes into the
I
ground?
think that's a point, drill point.
Okay, all right. Yeah, all right, a point.
With the tank and the pump up, in that
Gotcha,
same
gotcha.
room.
Would you consider asking them to see if they could devise a pan of some sort to store oil and gas on?
Yeah, you can fabricate up a galvanized pan or something like that.
Yeah.
It'd be easier for them too.
Yeah, save
Yeah.
less.
That would protect them well.
Yeah.
You know,
What
it
is
takes-
the landscaping between the building and the water?
There's not much there, but they have to revegetate that initial area where the building's been moved and relocated and revegetate.
Is this right near their dock?
Yeah,
It's one of those aluminum things they pull out in the winter?
yeah.
Did you guys see the pictures? Yeah. Somebody did good work this time, Ken.
This is something, this is number 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same one.
It's the same one.
All the same paperwork's out there.
That's where the house is at, that's.
Well, that one shows a house on it.
City,
Kind of behind.
Pretty good.
ooh. 2 doors, 3 doors, 8 doors. It's gonna be like a little hot dog stand?
That's what's there now.
Oh, the hot dog stand is there. No.
Correct.
So is it on a pretty good slope?
Down there is the flat part, but from there up, it goes at a significant slope to get up to the road.
What is this?
Their house is down
That's-
more on the slope, yeah.
This is existing?
Existing in,
Well, that was what they wanted to repair it as is, and now they're gonna square it up once we.
So we don't ever need this?
No, that's more of what's existing.
Yeah, gotcha. All right,
I guess I'm still not clear as to what is actually being squared up. This is coming off, this part that's pointing closer to the water.
Here, this one's for that.
Oh, yes.
Explain on that, this one shows a
So this is the new part.
This is.
Correct.
This is coming up, got it, okay.
Yeah, so this is the lake here, we're gonna gain this 6 feet, basically, there's just no room to push it back any further.
because it would be going into the hill and blah, blah.
Exactly.
That's what we were looking at before.
can you get them to revegetate anything else on the site?
In front of it and drip trenches around it is what we talked about.
Is there a motion?
Yeah, I move, we approve John's recommendations on the Del Genio
You got it.
project, with conditions.
Second.
All right, and those conditions were,
Revegetate the front and to the sides of the,
Should just be the front and drip trenches around the rest of it.
okay.
drip line trench.
and some kind of fabricated,
Storage for gasoline.
And, yes.
Pre-stored.
is there anything else? Any further discussion? Everybody's voting. All those in favor, aye? Those opposed, nay? All right, that's good. What's up? Ooh, real pitches.
We're picking the sheds. There's one on the right-hand side, a little small one, he's looking to relocate that.
What, that little tiny
That
one?
little one.
That little baby outhouse one?
Yeah.
Just pick it up.
This thing?
Yeah.
Where is it?
4 feet high.
It does.
Starving the customers in this room.
Um,
For that doghouse.
He wanted to move it here, which would make it closer to the lake. If he didn't have one, we could, the new zoning allows us to put something in there, providing it's not any closer than the primary structure to the water, and it meets the setbacks as best as we can make it. So that was where he wanted it, or he can turn it and keep it over in that area there. Either way, it's not meeting the side setback of 3 feet here. And I think you got the road setback would be tight there too.
And this is where it is now?
Correct. That's looking at that picture, the little tiny ones on that side.
Gotcha, all right.
And then you can see that big patio on this side here, that's why,
This is his neighbor's structure then, this big gray building?
yeah, and if you look at both of his neighbors have sheds and he points that out. So normally I wouldn't go closer to the lake, but to me that seems reasonable with the amount of concrete and stuff that's in front of it.
He's still 3 feet from the side though, right?
Exactly, yeah. And that's what's tough on these 50-foot lots.
Well, I don't know.
Can I see?
Where is this one? Where are you?
Yeah, what lake?
What do we have?
Loon Pond.
Oh, Are we on the,
7 feet,
what
5
road are they
inches
on?
by 7 inches.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Oh, it's a shipment, keep
So he's got option A is to put it in this way here, which will still be close to this and won't meet the road setback, or put it in this patio area. Right there, which still won't meet a side setback, but will meet the road setback.
No, this is where it is
It's gonna
now.
be expanded.
This is where it's gonna go. This is Ken's
8 by 10.
recommendation.
8 by
It's
10,
closer to
state
the
allowed
water,
to do an 8 by 10.
but
Yeah.
it's further from the road, and they can't expand it there, and they got the, because the septic's there. That's what Ken's agreeing with, they're putting it on the side, right?
Towards that patio area?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a vacant lot next to,
No, I believe that house is,
not a city house there, though, it's not in this picture, unless.
my original thoughts
I mean,
were
do we have-
if you moved it by that patio was to pull it further away from the patio, but that's kind of vital area for where they utilize such a small lot as far as parking and stuff like that. And with all that concrete in front of, and that much 3 feet of retaining wall that it's in that depression, I don't think it matters.
This is raised up.
Can we,
Everybody's is raised up, he's the low guy.
So it's almost what, like 4 feet up before you start going down to the water?
It's a good 3 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious, how do we get around the language of, on page 5, 1411.3, in no case shall the structure be reconstructed or replaced so as to increase its non-conformity?
If you look at 511, that's where it's actually, if he didn't have the shed, I could write him a permit for him in that area, but he's already got the shed, so it's kind of the best practical location. I guess trying to use common sense as far as the non-conformity, you're balancing out the road setback and side setback with the water and side setback.
yes, but what's what's more important to us is the setback from the water.
Normally, exactly,
Usually-
normally, but this has 2 or 3 feet of retaining wall that it's still on the
That's right.
inland side of it, that's
So
why.
we should have a shot from the front.
Does that show the retaining wall on it? Oh, I saw that one.
That one shows the steps.
How long
Oh, it
is
does?
that retaining wall?
I think,
How far does it go to the left where there's trees in the picture?
I think that's the end of the property line right there with the trees.
So the wall only goes as far as the property line goes?
Correct.
So.
So the patio is raised up even with the top of the,
Retaining wall,
I
they,
don't know. I kinda like it right there, so.
Right where it is now, yeah.
and they just turn it the other way.
Face the road with it instead? Is that the?
Yeah, you know.
it still would be able to become an 8 by 10 in the same spot.
Yeah, I don't have an,
Do we have one of the site plans?
I don't have an issue with it closer to the road versus moving it. Further away
Yeah,
from the
site
road.
plan there.
Is this retaining wall?
Here's a picture.
He's got pictures of it, I think.
But this is, Kenny said pretty much only goes to the edge of the property line, which is, you can't really see it.
So that would be, so it would be in front of the patio. It's a retaining wall. What happens on the front of the patio?
We don't know how long the retaining wall is.
Well, the retaining wall is between the water and the camp, right? So it's on the other side of the patio? No?
It's an earth berm, kind of on the other side. There is a couple of small patios.
Well, I'm looking at the patio here with the lattice fencing around the top. Is that a patio or is that something else? What's this thing?
That is the patio.
All right, all
What
right.
he's talking about.
What's that? Is that?
That's the retaining wall.
Oh, that?
That's concrete. But
Oh, this is concrete
it's
then?
hard to tell how
Oh,
long
I
it
thought that was
is.
part of the deck. Oh, I mean part of the patio.
I guess it's a retaining wall, but how long is it?
I thought you just said it was a.
You know, because if the shed was over here and it dumped the water toward the back, it could be
On the other
pretty close to
side.
the edge of it anyway, you know? But
Yeah.
whatever, I don't know.
I said, leave it like
Where it is.
and make it,
Looks like this is going down.
let him make it bigger if he wants to, but leave it where it's at. I mean,
8 by 10 in the existing location with the same side setback in the back of it.
yeah, because the
And it would have to
neighbor's
creep up.
shed is right there anyway. It's not like.
Two sheds together would look better than,
You can see the other shed there in that.
Oh, yeah, it's to the right.
they'd match, right?
Yeah, and that's his neighbor, because that's, the property line might be this red fence post there. So this is his neighbor's structure. We're thinking, just if you want to make it bigger, make it bigger, leave it right
Oh,
there.
absolutely.
I don't care so much,
Retaining wall, it probably-
you know,
Right,
to the road. I'm not crazy, but right now, we've got,
I'm just
you know,
not
it's
sure how
nice,
long this wall is.
it's green.
Here, what's going on there.
If you put a roof down there, you can have more runoff.
We have to
than you have
follow,
to
we can
catch.
see.
Where do you think his septic
Looks like
is?
it's right on the.
It's back here somewhere.
So he turn it and.
The septic-
Covered it.
I don't know what.
Is this the
Oh,
same guy?
That's the proposed.
Yes.
The septic is right behind the old shed towards the
Oh, there
road.
it is. So it's way over here.
Yeah,
So it's all.
but there's room, I mean, it's not like, I mean, right now, this is how much, 5 by 7?
But the pipes must come that way.
And he wants to go 8 by 10? Oh, okay, now we're talking, lads. Here's the retaining wall. Oops.
The shed where it is, Ken, wouldn't impact the piping going to that septic?
I think there's enough room to
Yeah, that's.
get it to fit there.
So that you can.
Again, the shed is just gonna sit on the
blocks.
Yeah, so that's no problem. And see, yeah, it would be back behind this,
Yeah.
but this is,
So maybe
It
that.
does look like that's an empty lot.
It almost doesn't
I mean,
look
if
like
that
the
was
water
as
can
narrow-
get past it, so
picture,
whatever
that was
that
narrow.
was. Must go underneath
I
the.
mean, you see here.
well, see, that's why I don't want to put anything more that's gonna shed water faster right here. I kinda like it where it's at.
Yeah.
I mean,
Motion?
yeah, because Tom's got a good point with the retaining wall here. We don't really know how the water gets past the patio area. Does it just like build up back here, run around the side? And if we put a shed there, granted, if we put, you know, stone around the side or something, but we're still gonna have the water running off the roof a little bit faster. And it's already green and growing there,
he complains about his property, his abutters being taller, but he's got this funny thing. It looks like he's created a dam on the patio side of the house.
I think what's happened is the two neighbors have filled in 3 feet on both sides, and he hasn't brought the fill in yet. They did it back when you could.
Yeah, right.
Was this taken at low water level, this one picture?
Yeah, it's off the assessing, so.
So, I mean, does the water normally come up under, it must come under his deck, otherwise it's decks.
I could.
They dive off and break their neck, I say. Well, what's your pleasure, people?
You want this one?
I move we allow them just to turn it 90 degrees or whatever they want to do and just increase the footprint by what? 8 to 10? 8 and...
Exactly,
Is it really 5 by 7, that little shed?
yeah.
It looks small in the picture, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, it looks
That's
like a
not
school
very
bus
big,
stop.
obviously.
Yeah.
With the caveat that it gets no closer to the water, right? No closer to the water.
It's still maintaining the sideline, right? The sideline.
3 foot.
It's not going closer than 3 feet. And right now, how far is it from the road?
Yeah, it was my question. It's in one of the
It's not this one.
So
site
it's an
sections.
Yeah.
square one.
Gee, there's a giant tree right in the way too, so it can't,
30 foot to the
it's no
center
problem.
line, Jeff, right? Would that be it? 30 foot to the
This is,
center line?
yeah, but, well, if that's the case, then there's all kinds of room. Plus, there's this big tree back here, so it's not gonna, yeah, I mean, the tree encroaches on the road if you, yeah.
So we're cutting those.
Leave it where it's at and put the larger one there, what Tom said. Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion now. Kenny, you wanna weigh in?
No, I'll follow up with you about it.
Does he need, it? He doesn't need any, he's far enough back from the water, you don't need to hassle him on anything else.
We could probably find something.
Well, we could do something like pull him a couple more feet off the sideline, you think, to...
That sends it over to the, if we've turned it the other way, that's gonna encroach towards the septic.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Right where it is, yeah.
All right, we're good then? That's the plan? All's in favor, aye? All's opposed, nay? All right, so that's our recommendation. What's up, Buttercup? Thank you. We're cooking with gas. We quashed one dream anyway, so that's a start. It's not like a board of assessment review where we quash them all.
If you just have a stand, no, thank you.
We've moved up from sheds to houses.
Yeah, that's fancy for one.
Those times.
Where are we this time?
Loop
Yeah.
Pond, Loop Road. Demo the house, new foundation,
Oh, you're kidding,
redoing the
it's so cute.
septic. The blue is the new house, the red is the old.
No, the blue, it's gonna be a little bit further back. By what, 2 feet?
Gains a couple, I think, yeah.
That blue is new.
Yeah, it is. But the water is,
So this is all coming down.
the water's here.
No, that's not.
One retaining wall stays.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
well, no, here, he's already this close right now. He's gonna back up this far. Well, it all counts. But see, existing, he's right there, so he's just going a little bit further, closer to the water, right?
He's coming back from the water. Well, as far as the decks should point to.
So this stairway is part of the deck going down towards the water as well?
Yeah.
We need, this is street view, we need a,
Here's a couple more photos,
Ah.
but key in with that one here from the water.
okay,
from
okay,
the
all
side.
this, so we're losing a lot of this. Or are we? So how's he gonna get down to the water now? Is
All
he gonna
the
jump the
retaining
last?
walls disappear, it's a walkout basement, and the first retaining wall gets rebuilt.
The lowest one?
Yeah. And they're hoping to lower it a little.
Yeah. So the new place is gonna be around here then.
So the sheds disappear, all that deck.
So the first terrace level, we'll call it, is gonna be like basement floor level? Is that
Correct. And the sheds disappear and they're putting in a permeable patio.
Right here, probably.
There's another after.
Yeah.
That's that geo.
Oh,
Those geo blocks.
There's several different ways that it can absorb, either it's just
Yeah.
cracks around
Go for
them.
it. This is a good place to stand, it's hard to
No,
see.
you're fine.
What are those things now, Kenny? Those units?
Are they like railroad ties, or are they made out of?
I think it's a timber, just a regular timber.
Just painted recently.
Yeah. Plus, if the place was recently painted too.
It was just purchased?
No, I think they've owned it for quite a few years.
Yeah. These things,
Rutherford.
What is the proposal for in front of this new work? Can they, because is it all,
They weren't going anywheres from the retaining wall to the lake, they weren't going anywheres up there, work-wise.
does it look like, it looks to me like from this shot here, I can't quite tell what this is, but from the front of this little white shed, which is, I guess, on the new drawing, it doesn't show it, so that was gonna be removed, but what's the pitch from here to the water, Ken? Is there much slope there? It looks like the slope is,
It's fairly flat from that first retaining wall on the lakeside to the lake,
To the
it's
lake.
fairly flat.
okay, and then you
Otherwise,
get
it'd be
that
low
little,
retaining walls.
About how far is it from the first retaining wall to the existing wood retaining wall? And
I don't know, they don't have a legend on it.
it's,
Well,
looks like it's around 45 feet. or
Yeah,
so.
that'd be my guess,
One
something
inch
like
equals
that.
1 inch equals 10 feet, so you're about, 40. 1, 2.
And they can use the existing septic.
Yeah, it's a permitted one. They are going to take it out and put a new one in though.
Everything in the same spot?
Yeah.
Litchfield?
Yeah, there's not much room between the road and the street, so they've gotta take it out so they can build the house and pour the concrete, and then they're gonna put it back in.
Oh,
But they're going to put have a new design, so it'll be a 2013 septic versus a 1980.
got you. But it's gonna be in the same spot.
They're gonna get it back just a little bit further.
And you know what the new roof design is?
Um,
Is it pitching, it'd be nice if the ridge was perpendicular to
It's
the
a shed
shoreline.
roof, Tom. Starts here and goes all the way to the water.
It'd be nice if it was
that is what we discussed, yeah.
Shed roof.
No,
pitching it perpendicular to the lake,
exactly, with,
so there's a gable end facing the lake.
with drip line trenches all the way around it.
Oh, good. All right. Can we get him to do some, let the front, what it looks like 35 or 40 feet, go back to natural vegetation and have them encourage that with a Joe Anderson visit or something?
Yeah, revegetate the front.
Yeah. With whatever the phraseology is there with native materials.
What's the front now?
The pine acid type, it's limited duff, but,
Yeah, this needs
You
some.
need more organic
Yeah.
matter there to grow stuff, you know.
which gets people skeptical that as you're bringing lawn out by the lake or soil, loam, because you need the loam for something to grow.
Yeah, but then we're
You can get out to the
We're
drains,
anchoring it, you know?
Yeah, stabilizing the
right,
site.
that's it. Right now, it's just pine spoil, it just kind of,
Yeah,
like, after the rain last night, I bet it looks
it
nice.
seemed like they're using come to
Nice
camp
one.
and rake.
Raw.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you really lean on them to revegetate this? Because,
It's part of the deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
They just would
I mean, not just the front, but those two problem areas, I would assume.
The whole, the
If
south
both
side's
sides-
gonna be
if
fairly,
both sides of the camp look like that.
expansive, the area underneath
Needs some help.
there.
Yeah,
We get-
Yeah, because it's gonna get all turned up while they tear down and build anyway, so.
Yeah.
so the two sides get all revegetated
Yeah.
too.
I would think they're just gonna have to have a budget for landscaping.
Can they get away with just the erosion mulch
Rutherford.
as opposed to bringing in stuff for growth? You know, that large mulch that they use that retains the water?
I've seen it on a few sites, it is pretty tough to walk around and stuff, but it may work on the side slopes and stuff like that.
Well, the thing about like bark, like stuff doesn't grow there quite as quick as if they just kind of stop the flow and then the natural
Yeah.
debris from the pine trees built up and wasn't removed, that would, you get vegetation from that. As opposed to bringing in something that might,
Well, they may have to bring in a little bit of something, just to, because it's gonna take a while for the pine stuff to be able to have something grown it though, isn't it?
Who
yeah.
helps you with advice on revegetation? Joe or somebody else?
Depends on how complicated it
it's
is.
more like little retaining walls. on
Either
the
the
side or something.
landscapers will do it, Salmon Falls Nursery, or some of those people, or Joe Anderson. But it's usually just a point system where you've had the existing camp that's gone, you know, you have the 20 by 30 spot that needs to be revegetated, and you just bring the points back up with native species.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the ordinance in the DEP allows grass as a native species, but
Well, if it can be anchored until it takes root, then,
Mhm.
you know, it shouldn't be an issue.
I'll tell you, I'm a big proponent of that mulch, though, that ASYCC kids put down in my place, that it just stops that water coming off my roof, heading for the beach. It just,
Yeah.
it never reaches it.
What kind of mulch is it?
It's
Erosion
a
control.
longer piece of mulch than what you, it's not wood chips, but it's the, you know, the bark kind of thing.
It's like
but it's
stump
bigger
growing.
pieces.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's,
Cedar or any kind of? all
Well,
kinds of
I'm
stuff?
guessing it's probably anything,
it has a lot of soil in with it too.
but it's amazing. I mean, some of those really big storms, and you look out after and it's like, there's nothing on the beach where before it was loaded with water,
Yeah.
working its way toward
And
the.
stuff starts growing up in it pretty well?
Well, it's
or
new
no?
to me, so I don't know
Oh.
that. They've only put that down about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Jeez.
So I'll tell you next year.
well, if it's got some soil in it, that might
Can we just
That'd be
say,
good.
some.
If they put plantings in it too, as opposed to just leaving that.
That's a big thing.
Put some shrubs in there as well.
Because if you just throw down wood chips, it
Artie, what's
doesn't
up?
grow up.
That's
No,
possible.
that's what they used to keep weeds
can we leave it
down.
up to
Yeah.
Kenny and the landscaper and just say, whatever material would encourage native growth and to, however we can, if we can put some shrubs, a line, or 2 lines or 3 lines of shrubs there, something particularly where the berm, where the slope starts to flatten out, because that's where you want to slow that flow down, which is about where that 35 or 40-foot setback line is.
I had York County Water and Soil as one of the conditions. so-
There you go. And go with what, yeah, and go with what they recommend, which we've used them before, you know, for the same type of thing. All right,
Alright,
so, is there a motion?
I move we accept Kenny's recommendations with conditions.
And those conditions were your kind soil and water for the revegetation of the site?
Drip line trenches.
Drip line trenches and those, that's just at the eaves, or what do you
Yeah.
connect those, or what do you do with them?
I usually just stone all the way around on those 2 eave sides, and the water gets into the ground then. Good soils out there too.
It's sandy gravel.
Yeah.
And you said the proposal is the new terrace in front of the daylight basement is gonna be some kind of a permeable material or something?
On the patio.
Just this area,
This little,
this little, where does it say patio?
Which decks
This.
now will be going to the patio.
What about under the decks?
No decks now, patio.
Oh,
The decks are existing.
that's right, their history. So it's house and then this patio.
It's like a hardscape, porous.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. You want, what's the verbiage, you want a permeable patio? Or what do you use?
Yes. That's what he had said initially. All right, so we're good on those? So the motion is Ken's recommendation with York County Soil and Water to help with revegetation of the site and permeable patio construction?
Yep.
Whatever.
And in particular, some treatment on side yards where slope is an issue, to cut down on the, or increase, maximize the infiltration.
All right. Anything else? All those in favor, aye? All those opposed, nay? Done deal. Yes, we did. It was it Yoli? Who seconded this? Oh, for crying out
I'll
loud.
second.
I thought Yoli did.
Second and the other two.
Thanks for jumping right in there.
Great to lead.
All right, what's next?
I did.
Yoli did. No, she really did. She's just playing cute.
Go back and watch the tapes.
I'm gonna check the tape.
I was asleep for a second. Yeah,
Holy smokes, two more?
One, they came together.
Ooh, big file.
yeah. This one's gonna need a lot.
No, it was 2 nights ago. 3-0, American League. Where have you been, Dave?
I was in the stands.
For what, the Mariners?
Where are we
Look,
in
it's
this?
stockade.
They're ripping down the house, but not ripping out the foundation. So it's excessive 50%, which is best practical location, but you can use the existing foundation as one of your determining factors of relocating.
So they want to keep it where it's at.
Yeah.
The existing foundation is.
Now, let's see if we can.
No,
Break
no,
that
you-
part.
see this, the other one will show you, the other picture will show you where it's stepped down.
Does that show the foundation?
How far are we from the water, the house roughly?
40,
Okay.
46,
Where is this one?
Where is it?
Squid Pond.
What kind of estimate on when it was built,
Texas one.
I think it was heavily renovated in the 70s and 80s.
new foundation in the
Spanish thing.
70s or 80s or something?
Yeah, it's block back in there.
Loft. Is it in good shape, you think?
The back part is, yeah.
So they're gonna be rebuilding part of the foundation?
Yeah, the front part.
Pretty sure.
So the wood stairs are staying, the patio on the side is staying?
Well, I mean, if they're rebuilding half the foundation.
There's a deck there.
We should have it in the
Oh.
back, yeah. You weren't though, because you're behind me. No problem.
Should have grabbed that spot when I had the chance.
So how much of a drop off is there here?
72
8 feet or
feet.
so, it drops right down.
It drops 8 feet there?
By the retaining wall?
Back to the
Yeah,
front.
the back side.
Where is that? Where
No,
are
I mean from the retaining wall down to where
This is
the
the-
foundation is.
This is the steps
From the top of the wall down,
Yeah.
it seems like 6, 7 feet anyways.
Do you know where the ordinance is about the rebuilding in terms of being able to keep the foundation?
So they're not moving any closer.
No.
So they're not moving any further back, huh? Is there a hill behind this? What's the story?
Yeah,
Oh, there is?
yeah.
So we can't break their heart.
This, I think, is this.
I see a little bit about the foundation on
And
page
there's
6
another
of
little
the
one here.
end of the first paragraph on page 6.
And there's something going on out back here.
Yeah.
What's it say?
That's the one.
The last line in determining whether the building reconstruction or replacement meets the setback to the greatest practical extent, the planning board shall consider, in addition to the criterion section below, the physical condition and type of the foundation.
It's closer than that.
Foundation present. So we do consider it.
The foundation is good,
From the backside.
Kenny said they're rebuilding more than half the foundation, half the house.
Once you go beyond 50% of the assessed market value, then it goes through this process. And that usually is a bigger issue with boathouses and sheds, because 50%
It's nothing.
is nothing.
Right. But it seems like if they're rebuilding more than 50% of the foundation, they should try to conform to the setback as best they can. I mean,
But
but what can they
there's
do?
a
What can they
fair
do?
amount of hill back here behind.
Yeah, what can they do?
I would say it is in the best practical spot with the foundation. Originally, it was just ripping the roof off and then floor, and it's gonna involve into getting rid of all of the wood.
Here's another picture too,
Yeah, leaving the foundation in place.
They're not gonna be, I mean, there's not gonna be any extra disturbance of ground.
This patio was.
Yes, they're redoing
Yeah.
most of the foundation.
The front wall, they're going to do and put a frost wall in when they do the
This is one
addition,
side,
when
this
they
is the
square it out.
Oh, right, this would be a new post.
Oh, so the foundation's gonna be a little bit closer,
Yeah.
but the overall structure will be closer than the little overhang patio right now.
Correct. It's got that 2 feet on the front, and then the deck cantilevers up past,
Yep.
Block.
which was all legally existing.
Oh, no, I don't have I understand. And what lake is this again?
Square pond.
This, I guess that's the most important. Any other pictures of this thing?
What's the intent of what
One
they're
from
gonna
the
build?
water, huh?
Wait,
A dance hall.
A gable end on the lakeside, turning it, now it's a hip roof on that lakeside, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Eliminate that hip roof, putting the gable up there. Little small-
Two-story on the front side, on the water side?
Just how it is, yeah.
So walkout basement there.
Correct.
Yeah, walkout basement.
Coming up down here.
No,
Coming out underwater.
What are they doing with this retaining
It's
wall?
gonna be a
Anything?
beaver.
No.
No, that's in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
520 square feet existing first floor. Proposed 120 square feet, that's the addition?
On that right-hand side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one. Where's the road in this picture?
Back here.
How far from?
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
the pine
here or is
that's
it
back
here?
here.
There. So
30%.
how far is that? And what is the topography of it?
scale is, there's no scale.
And it doesn't say.
About how far from the road are they, Kenny?
It's
Is the road
kind of
over
hard
here?
to tell because the road and parking lot is all the same kind of area. I thought it was right there on the road, but just the dirt is,
But there's one
See, that's
shot
what I'm
that showed,
looking,
this
see,
one
this
right
is,
here.
this is parking and then it melds right into the road then?
No, this is the parking right here.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but how far is
the
it?
road and the parking look pretty much the same.
Right.
Where is
But
it?
how
What
far
street
is
is it?
I don't know. Well, you can try and extract it, I suppose.
Oh, it's on Thrush Street?
An inch equals what?
170
feet.
Really?
No, excuse me, an inch equals,
probably the
This
same
is
as
the
the
inch
last
right
plan,
there.
same as.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 inches.
Is it?
Yeah, or
So
10
1 inch was 10 feet in the last contract.
Okay, that's the same.
So what's the code when you
Okay,
do this?
right.
They wanna tear the old camp down.
So, from here.
They were just going to rip the
Here.
roof off, and then they noticed how the construction was on the first floor, and then it's not the road, saying to invest the money in, so they just want to reuse the 3/4 of the foundation and the slab, and
It's like 45
then do the
feet.
frost wall on the
Yeah,
front
median
side.
is around 40 feet.
That's 40 feet from the road.
47?
Right here, it's,
I think it's a little more than 40. But yeah, right down here it's not.
No, it's not gonna hurt.
35.
So they're allowed their 30%.
Correct, they get 30% of what they have.
I would think it would be similar conditions to what we just had with Mr.
Additional pictures?
The Kenny, the only thing I can pick up on this one that would be a little different would be that they're showing a retaining wall. I have this so that the water's at the bottom of the sheet. This retaining wall here would remain, I assume. And it looks on the drawing not to be very tall, it's like 2 feet 30 inches or something.
Yeah, that one they're not getting into.
But how would you pick up the
Drip line
drip
trench.
line trench there? What do you do?
Just by digging, again, it's
Yeah,
really real
gravel.
coarse gravel in that area, and by digging a 18 by 18 trench, it's gonna hold a good volume of water and percolate into the ground.
Do they ever put dry wells at the terminus of those things or something?
I've never seen it, I'm sure in porous soils you could, or run a drain in there too.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any issues with it, except the one drawing that was a little alarming was the one which would be there's no orientation on this compass. On the square pond on the bottom again, these stairs, there was a photo of those stairs,
Yeah.
and they look
This one?
horrendous. Yeah.
They are taking that out, there was a patio and
There's
a oil tank on the
picture
side, they
circled in
removed all
this.
that.
Can we make the stairs there, what do they call those?
Infiltration trenches.
Bed steps, or like a ramp step there?
I don't know if he's got the room there, but I'll mention it to Joe Anderson. I'm assuming that York County Water and Soil
Yeah.
oversight.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And revegetate the uses in it.
Is there a motion?
What do we, just as another stamp on these things, what about maintenance? Should we start getting them thinking about these?
This one wouldn't have much maintenance to it, just maintaining the drip line trenches, keeping the.
Keeping the leaves and the pine spoils and crap out of there.
Do you want to start monkeying with that, writing that in as a 2-year out that you play the cyclist or something? Or somebody from your town, someone representing the town will give them a cyclist to maintain those things.
I don't mind putting a mechanism in place, I wouldn't just start without having the mechanism in place, the means for it.
Some ordinance language behind it.
We can just say that, put in these drip trenches and maintain them so that they work the way they're supposed to.
It's similar to revegetation, that they
Yeah.
maintain the revegetation.
Yeah.
Just, if you mention it and make it something voluntary, that's a step in the right direction, I guess.
And what's going on with their septic, do we talk about that?
They're not here.
And it's right on the back side up in there.
I've been here this long ago.
So they're not gonna disturb
No, it was
that?
installed in '88.
It gets pumped up,
Yeah.
and the leach field would be where,
Between the road up in the parking area.
It's in the class.
it's, what's the name here?
Kittredge.
Kittredge. Is there a motion?
I move we approve Kenny's recommendation with condition.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Yoli. And the conditions were, again,
York County Water and Soil and drip line, which York County would
And,
design anyways.
and let's just spell out that there would be infiltration ramp steps, or some type of infiltration steps along that. I don't know what on the compass it is, side of the house.
If practical.
Where the existing steps are,
The ones that
Where
were.
they're gonna
tough
replace
where
shape.
they're gonna be replaced and the ones to
The
be.
ones they're gonna replace.
Yeah.
well, even if they had,
Back to Joe's recommendation.
even if they had timbers and sand, that would be, that would even work somewhat,
Mm.
As long as they don't put solid concrete, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
What they just put
Or
in
wood.
We like
was
to put piece stones.
8 by 8s in a square,
Something that
then
doesn't
they
move.
dug it out, 18,
Well,
24
like
inches,
crushed stone.
filled it with polished
Yeah.
stone.
Angular stuff.
Oh, bigger
So
than.
now every step
Rip
coming
rap.
down has almost a 2-foot depth section to
To
trap
fill it in.
water, and it's great.
They just use PT lumber.
They use PT, yeah. Big stuff, I mean, 8x8's good sized stuff to form the frames for them,
Oh, like a meat.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just landscape steps, and instead of the dirt, it's crushed stone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Work on saltwater, that, so that's if the conditions?
Maximum allowable revegetation of front and other side yard.
All right,
I don't know, we need a couple of songs, just tell us.
no, we'll be all right with
Yeah.
that. Anything else? All right, then. Did you have something you want to add? No?
Does the edge of the roof go toward the steps?
One-
It would be, but the steps are probably 10 feet away from them.
All right, then, all those in favor, aye? All those opposed, nay? It's a done deal. Is that it?
That's it, that's all I had for.
Well, we're one piece of group. We only broke one heart, so we gotta work on this. Next time. We're breaking all the hearts.